Hello and welcome to Wise Women Wednesdays. My name is Jennifer Regular and I am the Soul Illuminator at Lighting the Path and also your host of the show. I get so excited to bring people all around the world, ones who have gone through life and gleaned out its wisdom, who have a message from their mess and are here to inspire and empower you to embody who you came here to be and do what you came here to do. My guest today is Allison Cotton from Australia, which is the other end of the world for me. So I'm so grateful to have her here. And let me tell you a little bit about her. She is a grounded, down-to-earth, woo-woo woman with a big heart and a beautiful blend of seriousness and humor, who has done and continues to do a lot of her own healing and deconditioning work. Remember, it's all still a work in progress. By nature, she's a storyteller with a loving and nurturing heart. Being an oracle of and in between, Allison is able to see the energetics of the words in a conversation. This is usually prevalent when discussing your human design chart, your life, and your healing journey. As we converse, the information, knowledge, and wisdom that you need to come out through energetic channeling. And in her infinite wisdom, she knows that as you rise, you recalibrate to the truth of who you are as a manifestation of your strength while undergoing cellular transformation. She is the embodiment of herself. Let me retry that again. With an ability to educate and empower women, creating sacred space to unpack their truth and learn to trust their own inner guidance and have the courage to take active steps because they know they are worthy. Allison, it is wonderful to have you here. I am so grateful. It sounds like you're doing profound and amazing work, empowering women, holding that sacred space, and allowing them the opportunity to really embody who they are. So I'm glad that you're here.
Thank you for having me. It's interesting to hear back yourself when someone else is talking about you, and you're like, and it's really humbling to sort of go, yeah. So thank you for giving me that moment.
Yes, it's really interesting to reflect on that. And we don't always see ourselves the way other people see us either. But we also evolve continuously. As you say, we're always evolving and becoming more and more who we are as we embody our spiritual beings into this human experience. And so tell us what lit your path, Allison. How did all of this become your passion?
The fact that everybody needs to know about this.
Yes.
It's kind of this, I sense and feel this energetic pull towards this magnetic north that I'm headed. And I see the vision in my mind's eye. And I feel the energetic resonance of that here on earth going, I can actually have that. I can actually desire that and have it. And it could be in the simplest of forms like, I need a brand new car. So you start with that desire and you make an energetic resonant match to what you're calibrating to. I manifested my current vehicle in a week. That's how quick the manifestation can be when you are connected to your source light of your soul and having this human experience with the conscious awareness of like, what can I create from that?
What can I create from that? Yes, and recognizing the source of all that is that we can and do connect with that. So I know one of the things that you teach and you talk about now is navigating your business through your multidimensional self. So what does it mean to have a multidimensional way of being, first of all?
Multidimensional to me is you are everybody and somebody. To somebody, you may be mum, sister, wife. You know, to yourself, you are just you, but you're also an aspect of mum. You still have your sister genetics. Like there is a multidimensional is multi-purposed, everything, because we're not just our business. Our business is an expression of our soul's light to be expanded and expressed through our divine truth and self. This is why we create a business that we do, because it is our passion and our light and our love.
Yes.
And from there, so, you know, we have to show the reality of I'm still mum and I still got to go and take my kids to school and pick them up and cook dinner. And I've still got to do all these other things that every other person does. So the multidimensional aspect is like we are everything and something. Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes. I love it. I love it. And so how do you navigate business through that?
Lots of planning.
Lots of planning.
Well, not necessarily lots of, but in the sense that there is a how can I explain this? I can see the words in my mind's eye, and I can see the energy that's being presented. It's putting it all into conceptual words that you go, oh, it makes sense now. Can you just repeat the question again?
Yeah. How do you navigate your business then through that multidimensional way of being?
So for me, I know how my energy operates. At the very core level, I know how this physical human body is meant to operate in this human experience. And the way that I do that is through my human design. I use that conscious awareness of that information and I take it on board with resonance and I embody and I use the physical practice of doing that. But at the same time, I'm leading with my intuition and my internal within guidance.
Yes,
and then I'm
leading
also
with internal
supported
guidance.
by external environmental things, people, places. And that all becomes the navigation piece of like, where are you sitting? Like the now is what it is. The past is the past and the future may or may not happen. So it's now. So what do you want to create now? Given your current environment, situation, circumstance, what do you want to create? Given your current resonance of how you're feeling energetically, are you feeling like a flop? You're feeling so exhaustedly tired that, you know, putting a pair of pants on and walking outside is going to be a struggle?
Mm-hmm.
Or are we talking that, okay, I've got 3 kids and they've all got to get to school by 8 o'clock and I've got a call at 9. How the hell am I going to navigate this today? And sort of that's where the fun exploration happens.
I like
it's
that.
knowing how you energetically operate at the core level before you can start stacking more on top. I learned that huge lesson like when I was about 15 years ago now, when I got really sick and I had to stop. There was nothing I could do about it. It was like you are going to stop and we're going, like, you know, you get the nudges, you get the signs, the universe tells you an umpteen amount of times. And if you completely ignore them, what's going to happen? It's just going to make you stop. It's going to give you something so significant that you need to just go, and that's it. Right? Knowing those signs before you get to that place.
It's so true. Being aware of how we might be misusing our energy and also misplacing our power. You know, not recognizing where that true source of power is. And as you say, understanding our energy and how we operate through that. And then upgrading our operating system, right? This human body.
That's correct.
Yeah, so that we can navigate and we can manage life and all the challenges that it brings us and also all the joys that it brings us. And be our multifaceted, multidimensional ways of being, because we then learn how to direct our time and energy, and we recognize that the true source of our power is our soul's guidance, our inner guidance, and creator,
and,
right?
And when you're doing that congruently, life just gets better and better. And I know it sounds like a cliche, but it's to experience it every single day, like day in, day out, the bliss and the peace that you get from the congruence of navigating life by following how you feel, because we are moving to a feeling collective more than a logic one. We are getting a lot out of our heads and into our hearts. So when you start to embody that, you start to create a higher vibrational resonance and things just become easy. You know, manifesting a car in a week was easy because the resonance was all there.
Yes.
You know, there was no resistance to anything because the lines just all met at every step. You know?
It's creating the conditions for what you want to manifest, right? Setting that up and tuning yourself to that vibration to be able to attract that. And as you say too, really stopping for a moment in the present moment to assess how do I want to be living this day and this life and show up for my business. And there is a journey, there is a process to go through that. As you say, it gets easier as you become more aware of it, more comfortable with it. But where do people start? Where do people start to learn about their energy and how they can navigate that and how to be able to tap into that inner guidance to guide them?
I had an experience with a human design reading that blew my mind to the point where I felt seen, I felt heard, and I felt like, holy crackers, you have just like seen my entire life and I've just watched it unfold as you have spoken to me. It was a very mind-blowing experience to have someone tell you from a picture of a chart how accurate or very true the line of your life has been. And from there I went, I need to know more, and I've got to know more, and I want to know how to help others do this too. And so it's been developing for the last 20, 30 years since I had that reading.
Wow.
And I've just, I've had moments in time where I'm like, I don't want to know anything about it. There's too much information. I've just had enough. And you sort of get a bit rebellious and a bit like, no, I'm going to just do my own thing because this is not right. You know it's the truth and you feel that it's the truth, but you're totally like resisting it, going, no, not having a bar of it. So there was a few years, probably about 10 years or so, that I really just tapped out of following my human design or even just following any sort of planetary movement completely, like total rebellious stage. Because I'd had enough of hearing about there was some trauma around it, and so it was just like, well, if from the trauma I must have just cut it off. Does that make sense? So when I was quite young, and I'm happy to share this story, when I was quite young, I went to a home where they were speaking in Czechoslovakian at the time, and I didn't know that. I was about 10 or 11, I think, maybe even younger. It was definitely around that 10-ish. And we were just swimming at her pool. She had invited us to go and swim at her swimming pool. So we went down there, or I went down there, and we were swimming, and I just hopped out of the pool and I heard them talking. And I went, oh my God, that sounds like what I talked to and at the time it was an imaginary being, like, it was my higher self now in hindsight. But at the time, as a little kid, it's an imaginary friend and you just talk in that language. What it was is I was speaking light language. They were speaking Czechoslovakian. They had no clue what the hell I was saying. I had no clue what the hell they were saying, but it sounded in my mind like that. And I thought, someone else talks it too. It's not just me. And the young man, I think he was in his 20s or something at the time, went, what the f are you talking about, you silly child? Go home and you know, and so from that moment, I sort of remember running home going, oh my God. And I was completely mortified and embarrassed. So I sort of shut it off for quite some time because of that. You know, I didn't understand what was going on. No one could explain it to me. It was nobody's fault. It was just something that I had to go through. You know, and then boom, at age 33, hello world, we're all back there again with a spiritual awakening. So
and now you get to share that voice.
Yeah.
And that wisdom. And so you obviously got back into human design again then, because you talk about it now.
So human design. So I remember in my 20s, a friend of mine was going through that phase of human design, and they said, oh, do you want a reading? I'm like, yeah, sure, okay, whatever. And that was like in my 20s. I think it was about 25 at the time. And I looked at it and went, got no idea what you're on about. Yeah, it makes sense, but the rebellion stage, you know. It wasn't until my spiritual awakening and then I got the message intuitively to go back to the chart. And then just following those steps, right? So I went back to the chart, started embodying the energy resonance of who I was at the human design soul level, because it offers so much information from where you came from based on the stars and how you are designed to operate here on earth. So there's the blending of those two energies from soul and from earth. And realistically, to me, that's the calibration piece that connects all the dots, that creates alignment, that creates the navigation ease.
So was that reading from your friend that realigned you, would you say?
Most likely. Back then, you know, you don't think much of it. You're in your 20s, you're in that now moment. You're very much like, where's the next party? Where's the next whatever? You know, there's really nothing. And then to get someone to get serious on you, it's kind of like, I don't want to know that yet. I'm not ready for that yet, you know. And I think that's where it originally stemmed from. But subconsciously in the back of my mind, it's probably triggered something for sure.
Yes, it gets triggered, it gets activated. And I do know that you do some work with the Akashic Records as well.
Yeah.
And there's so many other things like the Enneagram and a lot of different ways of finding out some sort of blueprint, some sort of plan for our life, our purpose. But with the Akashic Records, how does that help us?
The Akashic Records is everything you have ever been, everything you ever are, and everything you ever will be. It is a giant database, energetic database of information, including nature, history, origins of soul itself. Like, it's the spiritual version of Google.
I love that. The spiritual version.
I read it once somewhere and I just went, that makes so much sense. Like, it's a very good metaphor, You know, and if in your mind's eye you want to picture the largest library that you've ever seen, I personally see a record when I go in, like the old 80s style records where you put the disc down and the needle and it starts to play the tune. I'm showing my age. However, I see it like that. Some people I've spoken to see books. Some people I have spoken to read it off a computer screen or a laptop or a tablet. Everyone sees the records differently because we are all uniquely different. We all have our own intuition at a different level, a different design. You may be a feeler, I'm a seer. You know, you may see and feel and I may see and hear. It's not all the same. So it's understanding, again, back to that energetics piece of knowing how you operate so you can calibrate all of those threads together to create, you know, that embodiment of the human experience in your business and displaying that through your soul expression.
And so, Allison, this is the kind of work that you do now. You bring in all of the elements of the light language, the Akashic
Yeah.
Records, the human design, and empowering women. Why women in particular?
Because I'm a woman, and it's not that I don't want to work with men, I just don't seem to magnetically find them.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I think, you know, there's some healing that women can do together.
Yeah.
Something that men can't do. And I'm sorry, guys, but this is just a fact. Just as much as, you know, we are physically different. Um, when we get together, there is a vibrational transmission that occurs that heals and harmonizes. It's like the word that I want to use is harmonizing the energy, right?
Yes.
We are multitaskers. We're so much, you know, and we have so much. Um, they just keep showing me expansion.
Yeah.
It's like when we get together and that vibrational essence starts to connect, the magnitude of that aura keeps expanding.
Yes.
And that's how I see why working with women is important to me.
Absolutely.
Because we all there's an African proverb that I'm quite fondly reminded of by spirit, and it's like, you know, it takes a village. Yes. I just keep getting it takes a village. It takes a village.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't raise my children as a single mum without my mum. You know?
Yeah.
So it's that gratitude and appreciation of just resonance that creates that expansion.
I love that. I love that. Women coming together to heal, to harmonize, to expand, and you hold the space for that. So how do people get in touch with you to be able to experience all of that and to experience navigating business through our multidimensional selves as well?
You can find me, you can contact me via email at hello@allisoncottonsoulconnected.com.au. And you can find me on Facebook and Instagram and all of those other fun places that we all seem to hang out together.
Yes, perfect.
Yeah.
And you were mentioning before to me earlier too about a couple of gifts that you have for people. There's a way to connect with you for those who want to talk and share and connect soul to soul, and also a meditation that you like to offer. Yes. You want to share about that?
I have a couple of things. So everyone is different, and I like to have various options because that's just the nature of who I am. So if you want to connect with me and grab my Balance for Success meditation, you can do that. And that's going to bring you into that energetic resonance of your business and start to listen through that guidance and start to get some awareness of the next action steps you'll need.
Perfect.
And also for those who like to have a chat, just like myself, I'm also putting in my Soul Connection link to book a call and have a free 15-minute call with me.
Fantastic. Thank you. And I'll put those links in the show notes as well. So anyone who's listening and watching, you can just go in there and click on the link, get in touch with Allison. Allison, I loved everything that you shared here today. And I know we just kind of touched on a few different topics, and it can go a lot deeper than that. So I do recommend for anyone who's been listening or watching to connect with Allison so that you can go deeper one-to-one and learn also all the other offerings that she has available. Do you have any final words of wisdom for us, Allison?
Be kind. There is this connect into your heart is what they keep. It's just tune in, connect in, feel it, see it, own it.
Beautiful. Thank you. Connect into your heart. Awesome. 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 Well, thank you so much for joining us today. It was wonderful
My
having you
absolute
guest on
pleasure.
the show. Yes.
Thank you.
And thank you to each and every one of you that have been listening and watching. I honor you, and we'll see you again on Wise Women Wednesdays. Bye for now.